Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Yes, so anyone would like to share what we discussed in our last session?
So, Prabhuji, we discussed about these stages in which a devotee becomes a yogi. So, for example, if somebody is a beginner, then that person needs to follow certain do's and don'ts and
Mm-hmm.
has to engage in karma yoga for
Mm-hmm.
detachment. And then at the second stage, when he becomes a yogi, at that stage, eight rules of the yoga needs to be followed.
Mm-hmm.
And the third stage, when the person becomes a yoga ruddha, at
Mm-hmm.
that time, at that stage, he is completely detached and has full control on the mind and the senses.
Mm-hmm.
And then he only meditates on Krishna.
Mm-hmm. Okay, wonderful. Yes, anyone would like to share or add something?
One another aspect that we also learned is that while the Ashtanga Yoga takes its own uh, ladder for the spiritual realization achievement, but the person who is in Krishna consciousness is considered to be well situated because one, he's fulfilled in himself, he's pleased with himself because he's always thinking about Krishna. He's able to easily control his senses because his senses are only engaged in thinking and serving Krishna. And since Krishna is a center of all karmas, all actions, there is
Mm-hmm.
no desire for any fruits, good, bad. It's all about Krishna, serving Krishna and keeping Krishna in center. So that is considered supreme because that allows you to be detached from the fruitive actions as well as sense gratification because you're just focused only on Krishna in everything you're doing.
Right, wonderful. Yes. So we were discussing the sixth chapter, third and fourth verse we discussed. So in that verse, we understood that how to practice yoga. It is not like overnight one becomes a perfect yogi and practice yoga and realize himself. Krishna is mentioning there is a beginner stage, yoga ruksha stage, and yoga rudha stage. Means those who are advanced. So for a person who is in the beginning stage, for him it is required that he is performing his work also. He is performing his karma also, and what he is doing with the fruit he is offering the fruit in the service of the Lord, where he is able to practice the detachment. He is able to practice the detachment so that he can come out of this fruitive mentality and he can control over his mind gradually and advance in the stage of further stages of yoga and reach to the yoga ruda stage. Whereas when Prabhupada was mentioning very nicely that how a Krishna conscious person, because to practice yoga, two things are required. There are two basic necessity to practice yoga. What are those necessities? One is, yes, anyone would like to guess?
So, Prabhuji, renunciation from material desires
Mm-hmm.
and
Okay. What
not
else?
engaging in any, uh, not engaging for the fulfillment of desires and
Mm-hmm.
or any sense gratification.
Okay. Yes. Anyone else would like to guess?
A steady mind that has no influence of outside the materialistic desires, as Mataji said, and not concerned about self sense gratification, rather only concerned about Krishna's serving Krishna.
Okay. So to practice yoga, two things are required. One is samyama, means control over the mind. To have a tranquil mind is very important to practice yoga. Second is detachment. Control over mind means it includes control over the senses. Our senses are also controlled. Control over the mind or having samyama means control over mind includes control over the senses also. Not like we are running behind the sense gratification. Not like that. Our senses are also controlled. Our mind is controlled. So that is one basic criteria. Second is to be free from all kinds of fruitive mentality, means one should be detached. One should be detached from material activities. These are the two basic criteria to practice yoga. So now we are going to start with the verse number 5th and 6th. I'll just pull out the verse. All of you please join me in chanting the shloka. Udharet atmana atmanam
Udharet atmanatmanam
na atmanam avashyadet atmaneva hi atmano bandhur atmaiva ripur atmanah. Yes, anyone would like to chant this shloka?
उद्धारेत आत्मना आत्मानं न आत्मान अवसादेत आत्मैव हि आत्मनो बन्धुर आत्मनो बन्धुर देवरितो आत्मना.
Yes, wonderful. Anyone else?
Udharet atmanatmanam natmanam avasyadet atmaiva he atmanau bandhur atmaiva ripur atmanah.
Wonderful. Yes, anyone else?
उद्धरेदात्मनात्मनं नात्मानम् अवसादयेत् आत्मेभि आत्मनो बन्धुर आत्मैव रिपुर आत्मनः.
Wonderful. Yes, anyone else?
उधारेद
रिकॉर्ड खा
आत्मा
रहे चीनू, अच्छा दिया आपने। अरे बेटा मुझे पढ़ने ना, चीनू पढ़ने दे मुझे।
Yes, anyone else?
हरे कृष्ण बोलो। उधारेद आत्मना आत्माना उधारेद आत्मनम नात्मनम अवसादयेत आत्मेव ह्यात्मनो बन्धुर आत्मेव रिपुर आत्मना.
Wonderful. Yes, anyone else? Anyone else would like to chant the shloka? Read the translation. A man must elevate himself by his own mind, not degrade himself. The mind is the friend of the conditioned soul and his enemy as well. So from here onwards, verse number 5th to verse number 9, Krishna is going to explain about Yoga Rudha stage. So in this Yoga Rudha stage, first thing is what is the role of mind? This is what Krishna is going to explain in verse number 5th and 6th. What is the role of mind? How mind can be controlled and what role mind plays when one is practicing yoga. That is what Krishna is going to explain here. So in this particularly we see verse number 5th, what Krishna is mentioning about how one can elevate. One can elevate himself when mind is the friend. When mind is the friend, one can easily elevate. On spiritual or yoga ladder, one can elevate himself just by making mind to be the friend. How mind can become friend? We read purport and then we will try to understand in detail. The word Atma denotes body, mind, and soul depending upon different circumstances. In the yoga system, the mind and the conditioned soul are especially important. Since the mind is the central point of yoga practice, Atma refers to the mind. Atma refers here to the mind. The purpose of yoga system is to control the mind and to draw it away from attachment to sense object. It is stressed herein that mind must be so trained that it can deliver the conditioned soul from the mere of nuisance. In the material existence, one is subjected to the influence of mind and the senses. So here if you see especially this particular Prabhupada has nicely mentioned that how in material existence, because all of us are in this material world, in this material existence, a person is subjected to the influence of mind and the senses. Now these senses, if we see, each sense has an object of senses. Just like for eyes, form is the object. For tongue, taste is the object. For nose, fragrance or smell is the object. For ears, sound is the object. For skin, touch is the object. So all these senses want particular object to gratify. Now in this material existence, because we all are here, we have disassociated ourselves from Krishna and have come here in this material existence. So material existence caters all the desires of the living entities in such a way that we can forget Krishna. So how does that material existence caters the desire of living entity? Is by facilitating various ways and means to enjoy the senses, to forget the reality. Just like, those who are having kids, when small kid is there and kid is crying out of some pain or something has happened, you give injection to the kid. No, in childhood it happens when you take your kid to the doctor and doctor want to give some vaccination or some injection to the kid, to that child, to distract the child from that pain. Doctor gives some kind of toy or you give some chocolate or toffee, something like that, so that kid attention is on that particular object rather than the injection, the pain of the injection he is going to experience. Right? So same way, this material existence creates illusion in such a way that our mind and senses can be influenced so that we can enjoy independent of Krishna. We can enjoy independent of Krishna. And how does this enjoyment starts? Enjoyment is basically we see eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. These are the 4 activities all the living entities are doing. Everyone is eating, so through eating we want to expend our enjoyment in different ways. We want to eat different things. If you go to some places, some part of the world, people are eating different kind of living entities itself. Somebody is eating snake, this and that, different varieties of things they want to try or eat to gratify their senses. Whereas the purpose of eating is to maintain the body and soul together. And our eating should help us to become arogya, to become free from disease. Our eating should help us with a good health, should nourish, where we can grow and develop. So that is the purpose of eating. Keep the body or to maintain the body and soul together. So one should eat sattvic food which is offered to Krishna. So when one eats prasadam, what happens? His consciousness gets purified. And when that consciousness gets purified, he can think of Krishna. In the 2nd chapter, if you remember, we read the verse where how eating can purify our existence. So eating plays a very significant role in making advancement in our spiritual life. If you don't do anything, just eat only Krishna prasadam, so you will see a change in your own self just by eating Krishna prasadam. Prasadam is so powerful. It directly helps us in connecting with Krishna. So it depends how eating is such a important thing. It depends how that food is prepared, what are the ingredients used, who has prepared, with what consciousness he is prepared. And when it is offered to the Lord, what happens? We get love of Godhead. We get Krishna Prema just by eating prasadam. We develop love for Krishna. We develop divine qualities that Krishna possesses just by eating prasadam. Those who eat or have prasadam daily, which is offered to the Lord, you'll see how that prasadam will help you in making spiritual advancement. You can immediately see the difference if you eat something which is not offered to Krishna or which is offered to Krishna. You can immediately experience that difference. That is the power of this prasadam. And by eating prasadam, we can easily control our mind and tongue. We can easily control the mind. So mind has to be trained. And if we see in general, It is not so easy. It's a big austerity. But this is how we can tame our mind by saying we only will eat Krishna Prasadam. We can tame our mind just by eating Krishna Prasadam. By saying no to bhoga, or which is food which is not offered to Krishna. So what happens? We are controlling our mind like that. It starts from yama niyama, means basically do's and don'ts. So like that, our mind and senses can be controlled. In fact, the pure soul is entangled in the material world because of the mind's ego, which desire to lord it over material nature. So what happens? This material world facilitate various kind of sense objects so that we can forget Krishna, we can lord over the material world. Oh, this sense object is there, let me enjoy it. This is meant for my pleasure. I can feel the pleasure, the happiness by indulging in that kind of some enjoyment. That is how this material world is influencing our mind and senses. Just like you go to a mall, shopping mall, there in those racks, various products are kept. And in the shopping malls, good shopping malls, branded shopping malls, they do lot of research. Which product to keep at which place and how much area should be dedicated for which product. So I was staying with one of person who was an expert in data analytics. He was a data scientist basically. So he was sharing with me that there are a lot of companies that conduct such kind of data. They get data from various pools. They basically pull the data from various platforms and all those things just to influence us about certain product, to sell their product, to influence our choices. They do all this research. What kind of research? How they do? They track each and everything about you. Suppose mall is in central Delhi. So they will make out, okay, who all people are going to visit this mall. They will make out, okay, who all can visit this mall, youngsters, adults, or old people, what kind of class they are having. They are rich class people, middle class people. They will figure out to make this research. Then what kind of luxury they want in their life, or what kind of standard living they are aspiring for. They want luxury or just up to the mark or some standard of living like that. What kind of living they can afford. So all this how they do? Why? Because Google is tracking all our data. In which floor we are staying, which locality we are staying, how we are traveling by car. Okay, like that they track all such data. Now to pitch a certain product, they will decide, okay, which shelf is having more visibility and how much that product should get visibility. They will keep accordingly and they will sell that product, even though you may not desire. But seeing that product, indirect marketing is happening. After some time you will see there will be a need of such product. You will feel that I need this product, let me go and purchase it. So like that they influence our choices. Same way we see material world is influencing our choices by projecting various kind of sense objects, and that is how it is enabling us to forget Krishna. We read further. Therefore, the mind should be trained so that it will not be attracted by the glitter of material nature, and in this way, the conditioned soul may be saved. One should not degrade oneself by attraction to sense objects. The more one is attracted by sense objects, the more one becomes entangled in material existence. The best way to entangle oneself is to always engage the mind in Krishna consciousness. The word he is used for emphasizing this point that one must do this. It is also said, Manahe eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshaye bandhaya visyashango muktayeva nirvishyam manaha. For man, mind is the cause of bondage, and mind is the cause of liberation. Mind absorbed in sense object is the cause of bondage, and mind engaged in the mind detached from sense object is the cause of liberation. Therefore, the mind which is always engaged in Krishna consciousness is the cause of supreme liberation. So, very nice point has been brought out here, that how mind is like a boat. To cross over, material existence, or to cross over ocean, you need a boat. With the help of boat, you can easily cross over the ocean or a river, which is very difficult to cross otherwise. So if that boat is in perfect condition, has no such problems, you can easily cross over the river. So if you see a boat is always equipped with various mechanism to drive. If it is a boat which has to be by hand they do that thing, roll the boat, drive the boat, or there are certain boat which are used by some engine or propeller is there which drives the boat. So it depends what kind of technology or what kind of tools the boat is equipped with. Depends how efficiently that boat can cross over the river or ocean. Just like to cross an ocean, you cannot take a boat which is controlled by the hands. You will not be able to cross over the ocean. You need a proper boat which is having a first class working engine. You should have sufficient fuel. Then only it is possible to cross over the ocean. Same way we see in spiritual life, cross over this material existence, cross over the cycle of birth and death, cross over this ocean of nescience. Our mind, which is like a boat, should be equipped with right kind of engine. And what is that engine? That engine is scriptures, intelligence. Our intelligence should be Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi Eka Guru Nandana. Second chapter Krishna is mentioning. So we should have a Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. Our intelligence should be equipped with the knowledge of scriptures. We should have knowledge of scriptures. When we have knowledge of scriptures, means that engine is propelling or driving our boat. Now, just like an engine need continuous flow of fuel. So same way, we also need sadhana bhakti, which is like a fuel which is driving this engine, and engine is further driving the boat, and which is helping us to cross over the ocean. Now to cross over the ocean, boat is there, engine is there, fuel is there. You need a captain who can take charge and who can guide, direct in the proper direction, which direction to go. So all that can be possible when we have a bona fide spiritual master. When we have a bona fide spiritual master in our life, so it is very much possible that this boat, this mind, can cross over the ocean of this nescience, can cross over the cycle of birth and death. So this mind, if this mind, this boat is anchored at the shore to the port, how much ever that engine is putting the force, it is very difficult to sail. It's very difficult to sail in the ocean. Cannot even start. If anchor is there, if suppose that ship or boat is anchored to the shore or some port, how much ever you may put the force, you cannot release yourself. So same way, if our senses are drawn towards the sense object rather than Krishna, we cannot cross over this material existence. If our senses are drawn towards the material sense objects, we cannot cross over this material existence. Whereas if our mind is absorbed in Krishna, in our senses are absorbed in Krishna or Krishna's service, or our senses are in relation with Krishna, then it is very easy to cross over the material existence. It is easy to cross over the material existence. So we read the next verse. So here one more thing we have to understand, this mind is like a driver. Suppose you are having a car and that car is drove by a driver. So if you don't have control over your driver is riding whimsically is driving wherever he wants to go. He takes you. You want to go to Krishna temple, he is taking to you or some liquor shop. So what will happen? This driver is not your friend, is not controlled by you. So this driver will bring inauspiciousness in your life, will frustrate you. So this driver is not your friend. So Prabhupada says nobody is nobody's friend, nobody is nobody's enemy. Actually, the thing is, it is by behavior only one can understand who is friend and who is the enemy. Means nobody is nobody's friend. कोई किसी का friend भी नहीं है, कोई किसी का दुश्मन भी नहीं है. Nobody is nobody's friend, nobody is nobody's enemy. It is by behavior we can understand this person is my friend or this person is my enemy. Just like for a person who is practicing spirituality, his friend is what? His friend is a person who is also engaged in same path, who also holds the same values, not the one who is engaged in drinking. Right? So, friend, nobody is bad. So, how we define friend or enemy? By their behavior. The achara means by their behavior, by the practices they are adapting in their life, we can understand whether this person is our friend or isn't our enemy. That we can understand. Right? So we move forward towards verse number 6. Andur atmanastasya yena atmaneva atmana jitah anna atmanastu shatruve vartate atmaneva shatruvat. So here we read the translation. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his very mind will be the greatest enemy. His very mind will be the greatest enemy. We'll try to understand here. Krishna was mentioning about how a controlled mind can help us to elevate. Here Krishna is mentioning about how uncontrolled mind, if mind is not controlled, how it can degrade us. That is what Krishna is explaining. Here if you see, a man must elevate. So mind is the friend. When mind is the friend, he can elevate. If we fail to do so, if we are not able to control the mind, then we will degrade. Mind will be the greatest of the enemy. We will read purport, then we will understand more in detail. The purpose of practicing eightfold yoga is to control the mind in order to make it a friend and discharge the human mission. Unless the mind is controlled, the practice of yoga for show is simply waste of time. One who cannot control his mind lives always with the greatest enemy, and thus his life and its mission are spoiled. The constitutional position of the living entity is to carry out the order of superior. As long as one's mind remains an unconquered enemy, one has to serve the dictation of lust, anger, avarice, illusion, etc. But when the mind is conquered, one voluntarily agrees to abide by the dictation of the personality of Godhead, who is situated within the heart of everyone as Paramatma. Real yoga practice entails meeting the Paramatma within the heart and then following his dictation. For one who takes to Krishna consciousness directly, perfect surrender to the dictation of the Lord follows automatically. So here, very nice purport. Unless our mind is not controlled, so mind is like practicing yoga is like we are simply wasting our time. It will take us nowhere. Just like until and unless that boat is released from that anchor, they put the anchor right on the shore. So that boat cannot get lost in the ocean. Right? They put the anchor. Same way, if our mind is anchored, is not controlled, is anchored to sense gratification. So, how much our force we may try to put to release the boat, it will be simply waste of our efforts and time. Same way, mind is samyama, means if mind is not controlled, it is simply a waste of time. How much ever we may try to do, it is not going to take us anywhere. And by doing this, what is happening? Shrama eva hi kevalam. It's a simply hard labor that we are performing, and the purpose of our human existence, the mission itself will be spoiled. What is the purpose? Purpose is to come out of the cycle of birth and death. That is the purpose. So basically, if we see the constitutional position of the living entity, as Prabhupada has mentioned, of the jiva is to serve. We are designed in such a way, each and every one of us is designed in such a way, that is the basic nature of the living entity. Just like basic nature of sugar is to give sweetness, basic nature of salt is to give salt, the salty taste, right? So basic nature of this living entity is to serve. Now somebody say, "Oh, no, I am not serving. I am not serving. I am the head or I am the boss. I am not serving." No, everyone is serving. You are serving as a boss. You are keeping your employees happy. If you don't keep your employees happy, they will run away. You have to serve them. You have to facilitate various kind of facility. You have to give them salary, this, that. In different ways you have to serve them. You have to serve your family members. If you have a dog or a pet, you have to serve that pet. You have to serve the society, serve the nation, serve your friend circle. If you're not performing service, nothing will be there. Real service is service to Krishna. Service to Krishna. So Prabhupada is mentioning, as long as one's mind remains an unconquered enemy, one has to serve the dictation of lust, anger, avarice, illusion, etc. So if we see why it is so, if mind is uncontrolled, why will be serving dictation of lust, anger, avarice, illusion? Because that is by default programming. Just like there are something, when you operate a system or some machine, if you don't give specific instructions, there is a by default mode is there under which that machine or that system is working. There is a by default mode is there. Same way, our by default mode is what? Because we are filled with the various anarthas, mad, matsarya, lobh, kama, krodh, all these things are there, will act as per our by default mode. Because we are not pure, will act as per our by default mode. That's why you may see people around you. Some people get very angry easily. If a certain situation comes to provoke them, they will anger very easily because they enter into their by default mode. They don't have control over themselves. Whereas for some people, they have a good control over themselves. How much ever you may try to provoke them, they will not get angry because they have a good control over themselves. They will not get angry so easily. They will not enter into their by default mode. They will choose to act or react as per their desire. So that's why here Prabhupada is mentioning, but when the mind is conquered, one voluntarily agrees to abide by the dictation of the personality of Godhead. And how one get detection of personality of Godhead? Through these scriptures. And when one is elevated on this path of yoga, he get pure and pure and pure and pure. Once he becomes pure, then Paramatma within himself start guiding. So what happens when we do chanting? Especially those who are doing 16 rounds of chanting every day without any fail, and they are doing quality chanting. In each and every action, whatever action they perform in their life, Paramatma is guiding them. It depends, again, yetha mam prapadyante, it depends upon how much we are surrendered, means how much, with what quality we are chanting, it depends upon that. Higher the quality, easier the reciprocation. You will feel in each and every small thing the reciprocation of the Lord. Lesser the quality, reciprocation will be accordingly. So real yoga practice entails meeting the Paramatma within the heart and then following his dictation. For one who takes to Krishna consciousness directly, perfect surrender to the dictation of the Lord follows automatically. So one who takes this Krishna consciousness, so what he is doing, that person is directly accepting the dictation of the Paramatma or that Supreme Lord through these scriptures, through this Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, through his representative, he is accepting the instructions of the Lord, he is accepting the Lord. So here, if we want our mind to be our friend, or if we want to conquer our mind, it depends upon what kind of association we are having. So one should have a good association. One should have a good association to have a control over the mind. One should associate with the sadhus. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Kaya, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Haya. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra. By associating with the sadhus, we get to know the purport of the scriptures. And by their grace or mercy, we can attain all kind of mystic powers. That is the power of associating with the sadhus. And who are the sadhu? Who is a sadhu? Yes, anyone would like to share? Who is a sadhu? Let me choose. Yes, Manish ji, after a long time I am seeing you. Would you like to share who is a sadhu? Hare Krishna, Manish ji. Manish ji, Hare Krishna. It's like he is not there. Okay. Ruchira ji, would you like to share who is a sadhu?
Hare Krishna.
Yes.
I think somebody who is able to control the mind and put that mind in the lotus feet of the Lord.
Yes.
Able to overcome the material desire.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dhanvat Pranam. Manish this side. Manish this side. मैंने actually में मैसेज को चैट के अंदर टाइप
Yeah,
करके
I
भेज
saw
दिया.
that. I saw that.
Basically, it's a controlled mind only. One who is not disturbed in adverse or favorable situation. That is a sadhu.
Okay. Yes, Ramchandra. Taji, would you like to share who is a sadhu?
Prabhuji, one who has control over his mind, who is well versed in the scriptures and is engaged fully in Krishna consciousness, can be called a sadhu.
Okay. Yes. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
So sadhu will be someone whose all activities are aligned for Krishna's pleasure, and he is actually living into that whatever he preaches, he himself is also following the same in terms of all scripture instructions.
Yes. So all
I
of
have
you
one
have
more
you.
to
Mm-hmm.
I have one
Yes.
more to add.
Yes. Yes.
I think we also read that the sadhu sees Krishna in everyone. They are compassionate towards all the other souls, apart from what everybody else said.
Yes. Very important. So what all of you has mentioned is very nice points. And if we pull out, there are 20 qualities that Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita about a sadhu. First and foremost thing is, and most important thing is, that Brahmaji explains Prema Janachurita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yam Shama Sundaram Achintya Ganasupam. Means a sadhu is a sant, or a sadhu is a person or a oneself who is always carrying Krishna in his heart, who is always carrying Krishna in his heart. Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu. Sadeva means always. Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. He is carrying in his Hridaya whom Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti. Yam Sham Sundaram. He is carrying Sham Sundar. He is carrying Krishna in his heart. His eyes are always Prema Janachurita Bhakti Vilochanena. His eyes are always anointed with the love and devotion for that Sham Sundar. That is sadhu. Rest all the things are very, very subjective. He may be acting, performing certain work which may not be as per the scriptures, or something which is not, which is something different altogether, just like Prabhupada. As per the scripture or this thing, a sannyasi is not supposed to cross over the ocean. Is not supposed to cross over the ocean. But Prabhupada, to spread the Krishna consciousness, to distribute the love of Godhead, he went each and every continent to distribute Krishna consciousness, to distribute the love of Krishna. So many a times, and when he is having that love for Krishna, automatically he will have compassion. The degree of love, the degree of compassion will be accordingly. The degree of performing austerity or acting for the pleasure of Krishna, as someone mentioned, is all actions, whatever action he may do, will be simply for the pleasure of Krishna alone. Will be simply for the pleasure of Krishna. He will not do anything which is averse to Krishna. He will perform all action just for the pleasure of Krishna. He will be acting like that. So it is said, Tasmat Satsu Satyate Buddhiman. Buddhiman means intelligent person. Tasmat. Therefore, you should associate with tasmat satsu sajjate buddhiman. Satsu means a person who is striving for self-realization. Asatsu means temporary things. Sat means which is eternal. And what is eternal? This spirit soul is eternal. A person who is striving for self-realization, one should associate with such person who is intelligent and who is striving for self-realization. Tasmat satsu sajjate buddhiman. When a person associates with such person who is striving for self-realization, so what happens? He can understand the things as they are. So by associating, and who are those persons? They are sadhus. So what happens by associating with the sadhus? Ukti bhi chindanti. Ukti means with their words. Chindanti, they cut off, they destroy our material attachment. If we associate with the sadhus, who are the sadhus? Who have love for Krishna, whose eyes are anointed with the love of Krishna, and who are always carrying Krishna in their heart. When we associate with such person, when we hear from such person, when we hear their word, Ukti bhi chitanti, our material attachments will be cut off. To cut some certain things, you need a sharp knife. You cannot cut the things with a blunt knife. You need a sharp knife. If an object is hard object is there, you need even more sharp knife. So same way, our material attachment to this material world, is so hard or so callous or so stringent that we need sharp words. Many a times you may see Prabhupada using the sharp words to cut off our attachment from this material world. Various places, scriptures also uses sharp or harsh words just to wake up from this sleep of illusory world, sleep in this illusory world. So they use the sharp words to cut off our attachments. So a saintly person may use these sharp words to cut off the attachment of our material existence, the material existence. A teacher does not show his mercy upon the students because he wants to take them out of this material existence. Spiritual master speaks very ukti. Ukti means very harsh words. Chidanti, to cut off the attachment from this material world. It doesn't mean that he is not a good person. He is a good person, but he wants to wake you up from the deep sleep of ignorance. That is the way he shows his special mercy. Sometime I heard that I also use sharp words. So those sharp words are just to bring the gravity of the this topic of Krishna consciousness, how important it is in our life. So with this, we'll close here. Anyone has any question or anything to share or ask? Yes, any questions?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, there is one chat. I have put a question. Please look into that.
Yeah, just a second. We find in one of the verses in Bhagavad Gita, Karma Yogi in Karma with Lord in the center is also a sadhu. Meaning, Bhima, he did not got direct direction from Krishna but carried Krishna's teaching in his conduct. Duty towards establishing dharma. So sadhu, basically, the thing is central point of a sadhu. Sadhu means he will be carrying Krishna's instructions. When he will carry Krishna instruction? When he has love for Krishna. Suppose you are having your wife at your place, at your home, your wife is there. If you don't love your wife, can you carry your wife instruction? Out of fear you may carry, but you may carry your wife instruction when you have love for her. Joyfully you can carry her instructions. So same way, we can carry Krishna's instruction or we can follow Krishna's instruction only when we have love for Krishna. If we don't have love for Krishna, we will not be able to carry out his instructions. So if we see, the love is the central point for a person to be a devotee or to be a sadhu. So how this love can be developed? Love can be developed by practicing the rules and regulation of Bhakti Yoga, by practicing Krishna consciousness, by following the rules and regulation, by practicing sadhana bhakti, by chanting the holy name of the Lord, because this chanting Golokera Prema Dhana Harinama Sanketana, this chanting is the Prema Rupi Dhan, is a Goloka Prema. Goloka Prema means in Golok, what is Prema? Prema is for Krishna. So when we engage in chanting the holy name of Krishna, it induces love for Krishna in our heart. Or when that love for Krishna is induced in our heart, we will be following his instructions. We can do anything. Hope this clarifies you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, it clarifies. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yes, any other question? Yes, anything? Alright. So with this, we'll end here. So we have to understand that it is very important to control over the mind, and mind can be controlled over only when it is engaged in Krishna's service, by abiding to the instructions of the spiritual master, by developing Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi, by following the instructions of the spiritual master, by following the instructions of Krishna, by following the instructions of scriptures, we can develop Vyavasaya Atmika Buddhi. And by that, our mind can be tamed. We can have control over the mind. Otherwise, it will act in by default mode, which is going to create problems, which will create havoc, which will create problems. So one should control over his mind by following the injunctions of the scriptures, by following the dictation of Supreme Personality of Godhead, by following the instructions of the spiritual master or a sadhu. Then it is possible to tame the mind. And when mind is tamed, one can easily make advancement in spiritual life. This will end here. Anyone has any questions? questions? Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki,
जय
जय
Prabhupada ki,
जय
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु
Thank you,
हरे
Prabhuji.
कृष्णा प्रभु जी
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.